situation. Keir, thank you very much.
There's some new fallout this morning over Bernie Sanders' decision to stay in the presidential race, even though Hillary Clinton is the presumptive Democratic nominee. That's because it's a choice that is costing taxpayers tens of thousands of dollars every day. NBC's Kristen Welker has more on that story. Kristen, good morning.
Savannah, good morning to you. Bernie Sanders looks a lot more like a senator than a presidential candidate this week, back on Capitol Hill to vote on gun legislation. But he is still in the race, and that is costing taxpayers. And it's also raising fresh scrutiny about his decision to decide to stay in, despite the fact that Hillary Clinton effectively clinched the nomination weeks ago. Senator Sanders back on Capitol Hill Monday, surrounded by Secret Service because technically he's still a presidential candidate. Sanders' detail often on display, staked outside his home, where they even built a small watch station, and seen during his recent meeting with Hillary Clinton.
Move to the side. Senator Sanders.
Defending the candidate on the trail, like when animal rights protesters tried to rush the stage in May. Sanders' decision to stay in the race is costing taxpayers an estimated $38,000 a day for Secret Service protection. With 35 days until the convention, that could add up to $1.3 million if Sanders goes all the way to Philadelphia.
Senator, you see other ways to tax dollars?
Monday, he ignored shouted questions on the controversy first raised by the Washington Post. The Secret Service and Sanders' campaign declined to comment, but some taxpayers are fuming at the candidate.
That is a lot of unnecessary spending.
Whose campaign was built on railing against wasteful spending.
Because we have the most wasteful, dysfunctional system in the world.
And while all that is only adding to the pressure from within the Democratic Party for Sanders to suspend his campaign, top surrogates stood him.
I really wish people would not just focus on the Secret Service part of this, but focus in on the broader service that Senator Sanders is providing.
And the candidate himself, who is calling for changes to the Democratic primary process, recently told supporters in an online conference he has more work to do before bowing out.
We must continue our grassroots effort to create the America that we know we can become.
And Sanders' aides privately note his Secret Service detail costs a lot less now that he's not holding multiple rallies every day. Also worth noting, he's not the first candidate to be criticized over this issue. In fact, back in 2012, a conservative taxpayers group urged then-candidate Newt Gingrich to give up his Secret Service protection once it became clear that he couldn't win the nomination. Savannah, Matt.
All right, Kristen Welker on Capitol Hill, thank you.
Let's turn back to Mr. Roker. Another check of the weather.
That's right.